Hi, welcome to my video. You're either seeing this on Facebook, which is True Divine, or you're seeing this on my YouTube channel, which is True Divine 44. I'm Jennifer Roberts, and this is the invitation for the energies of the day being the 6th of February 2020. So these are just to help people along. Some of it might resonate, some of it not. It might all resonate with you, it might all not. Just take what helps you and leave the rest behind. So the first card being the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, you know, it's a difficult card in that there's people battling on, and sometimes when we have this card, there's energies of, sometimes we forget why we're even fighting in the first place. Sometimes we forget why we even got invested in this argument, in this dispute, whatever it is in the first place. There's no real winners in this card. You could fight this battle, you could fight this argument, this dispute for years to come, and you'll still be no further forward. The guy who's got all of the swords here, he's picking them up off the wounded on the rest of the battlefield here. You know, carry on with this argument, then this guy will have these swords in a week's time, and this guy will be covered in blood. It just goes backwards and forwards. It's an investment of energy that is truly wasted. As I said, no winners in this card. And sometimes if we stopped and thought about how much energy we were putting into something that wasn't giving us anything back, but wasn't making any progress either, the things that we invest our energy in like that are draining. And sometimes it takes for us to take a step back and actually be the warrior that can walk away, the warrior that can have enough strength and enough integrity, enough wholeness in self to be able to say, you know, I don't care what you think of me. I don't care whether you think you've won, whether you think I've lost. This dispute is worthless to me. We're getting no further forward. Walking away in this card is the true warrior style act to do. So to clarify this card, we have the Magician. So the Magician being a major arcana, and the Magician, you know, having all of the tools at his table to do everything he needs to do. Invested in this battle, you're never going to get to use all of the tools on the table in the right way. You're never going to get the attainments you want, because this major arcana recognizes energy, recognizes the use of energy, the use of intent in everything that he does. To say that you're the Magician, but then invest in a both side losing battle such as this, makes no sense to the Magician. It's a waste. It's a waste of good energy, without any good result. So the calling is to be this warrior, to be this warrior magician, and to be ascended enough, conscious enough in self to just walk away, to just leave it behind, to just let it go, and actually concentrate your energies on things that you can really manifest for you and for the greater good, for your lifestyle. You see, this Magician as well, if you are embodying this type of major arcana, you know, being able to use your tricks, your tools, if you are insisting on being invested in an argument such as this, a dispute such as this, a war such as this, then, you know, this Magician, his energies become very blurred and distorted, and that, you know, can become manipulative, because if you're invested in this card, the Five of Swords, you want to win at all costs. You're willing to trample on, you're willing to manipulate, you're willing to do it at all costs. So, you know, to do that's dangerous ground. You're getting into like narcissistic type grounds. So be the Magician in his high conscious state. Be the Magician. Walk away with your energy. Walk away with your tool bag. And invest it somewhere that is good for you, that is nourishing for you, and that can manifest good things for you and the greater scale of things. So that's the first two cards. The second card is the Four of Swords. So especially coming after this Five of Swords, this is very pertinent in that, you know, often this, like I said, this Five of Swords is energy zapping, energy draining, you know, doesn't give much back at all. Just take, 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 take. The more you give, the more this war's willing to take. It's an endless vial of, you know, you can't fill it up. So you walk away, you know, you use the skills, the tools that you have as the magician, the ascended consciousness to the high consciousness to know when to walk away, and you're left with the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords representing the need for rest, meditation of any kind, whatever works for you, but rest the mind, rest physically, even doing exercise and working the body physically maybe is some people's kind of meditation, because that's when the brain actually gets to switch off. Just listen to the beat of the music, listen to the beat of the feet, whatever they're doing exercise wise, you know, that's so anything that works for you to switch the mind off and give it some respite from this endless, you know, argument or this endless energy well that you've been putting your energy into. So that's very important to do after that kind of energy zapping, useless war, dispute, whatever it is. To clarify this Four of Swords, we have another number 4, which is the Emperor. So he, being a major arcana, it's this like fatherly like figure. It's this authoritative figure, you know, that can step in and say, no, you need to rest. No, this, and you can be this for yourself. Or you might have people around you that represent this. They might seem a bit stifled, they might seem a bit traditional, but there's lots of wisdom and inspiration to gain from them if you can just stop, get yourself out of that Five of Swords cycle and listen. This Emperor knows when to take time out. He knows how to have self-control, and you certainly do need self-control when you've been involved in this Five of Swords for so long, because, you know, people will try and draw you back in. People will say, oh, I knew you'd just walk away, or whatever it is, to try and hook you back in on the line and pull you back into the argument that they're obviously happy having. It seems counterproductive, but this guy, this major arcana, this Emperor has enough wisdom to know that actually, especially after that kind of battle, that kind of energy drain, this kind of rest can be, and this kind of self-control to take this rest can truly manifest great things, and can truly build great things in the mind first and then reflecting out. This major arcana knows that the universe reflects our actions on a greater scale. So if we're all being having a level of authority, of self-control, of wisdom, then that will be reflected on the greater scale. So when we say, well, how can we change things? You know, maybe we're in arguments, debates, politics of, you know, how do we change things, and if I just shut up, if I don't say anything, then nothing will change. That's this Five of Swords. This Emperor knows that actually it's not just with your words that you change things, it's not just with your actions, it's even your thoughts, that again, even your thoughts reflect outwards and affect the universe on the greater scale. So have your thoughts in balance, have your rest period in balance, and construct something in the mind that is sturdy, that is steady, foundational, that can be built upon. Take that time out. Again, the 4 and the 4 making the 8, you know, those cycles, that infinity, this Emperor knows all about that. So, you know, these little squabbles to this Emperor, you know, they're just, again, just like the magician sees them, useless, power draining, power zapping, not worth the time of day. The third card being the 7 of Cups. So again, there's this confused energy of how do I get to where I need to get to? How do I change things I want to change? There's all of these options within all of these cups, different things that you would like to manifest, different ideas you have, different projects. different this, different that, but you see they're all on clouds. They're castles in the sky. Again, just like the start of the reading, the bookend of it is this, the Five of Swords, you know, zapping that energy, scattering your precious energy, your manifestational energy. Then there's this card, again, doing exactly the same thing, putting your energy, your ideas into far too many different cups, far too many different aspects of your life. You know, choose one and start with one. Choose the next one and start with the next one. But this is just, again, another energy drain. This is just another psyops of the mind, taking you away from the things that you can attain in order. To-do lists. Be like the Emperor. He's the kind of major arcana that has a to-do list, that has a reason and a rationale behind everything that he does. You know, don't build too many castles in the sky that you can't fulfill. Putting your energy into too many pots, you know, you might come across to others as scattered. You might come across to others as somebody who never actually gets things done, but never actually stops working. You know, because it's you're not putting your energy in the right kind of direction, in one direction, then the next direction, then the next, rather than trying to do all of these all at once. To clarify this card, we have the King of Swords. So again, he is analytical. He's active, but he's analytical. He's resourceful. He knows what order to put people in. He knows how to manage things. He knows how to manage self. He's very authoritative like the Emperor. You know, so you can manifest being the Emperor in this King of Swords. You know, he's very straight down the line. He knows what to do first, what next to do, when to do it, how to do it, and he sits and works that out before he acts, before he starts promising things and building castles in the sky. You know, he limits himself, and that means he doesn't limit himself in a way that, you know, his resourcefulness, his resources, or his energy is limited. It actually means he knows that if he can limit his actions to a to-do list, to a very stringent way of getting things done, he actually creates more energy. He actually gets things done faster and more accurately with his authority. There's definitely this air of authority. So maybe it is that you need to take authority over your own life. Stop putting your energy into too many cups. Stop battling battles that you know aren't going to change much at all, when actually, if you go within with this Four of Swords, everything reflects in and out on itself. So you're gonna end up having a much better productivity, a much better response to yourself. So I hope this helps. Lots of scattered energy, lots of arguments here, there and everywhere. So, you know, take heed, take rest, and plot your way through. Be balanced, be whole. Much love to you all. If you'd like any private readings, the details will either be above or below, depending where you're seeing me. And love you all.